Welcome back to another episode of Freedom Blueprint Podcast. I am your host, Justin Deese, and today we are hanging out with Zack here in the studio. So if you're watching this on YouTube, you can see me and Zack getting to hang out here. And you brought the whole family to the farm.
Whole family.
He even brought a side-by-side with him just in case.
I'm too big to fit in that side by side.
Well, very cool. So, Zack, appreciate you coming and hanging out, man.
Oh, yeah, appreciate it.
So, tell us a little bit about the business that you own right now.
So we own what's called Peasy Plumbing,
Which is a great name.
Local home service company. Fixing to open up another branch in Alabama while we're at in Andalusia. So we service basically North Okaloosa, North Walton County, a little bit into Holmes County too.
Okay.
So we do anything plumbing and septic. So we also do septic installs, repairs, pumping, whatever. Pretty much we do that. We have several trucks on the road. You know, obviously branding's a major thing. We do all branded vehicles.
Yep.
If you ain't branded, you're blanded. And there's lots of blanded.
There is, yeah, there's a, so Zack is, how long did it take you to get here? 45 minutes, an hour maybe?
About an hour.
Okay. So he's not too far, just a run down I-10. And you're in a market where there's not as much competition because you're in a little bit of a rural market. And obviously getting into Andalusia is a pretty, I think, a wide open market. There's not so many competitors. There's not any big branded businesses up there. There's a lot of chucking the trucks.
There's not even many chucking the trucks.
Yeah?
There's, I think, we done our research. I think there's one or two plumbing companies. They're mainly construction.
Okay.
It's mom and pop construction companies. There's a few electrical companies, few AC companies. There's one septic service company that also says they do hydrojetting and snaking and other full service plumbing.
Okay.
But they just started very recent too. So.
Man, Andalusia, for anybody who is listening to this, Andalusia is a little bitty town in Alabama, South Alabama, so LA, baby. But it is growing, and there is, financially, it is a growing area.
So the last market census, I think they had 47,000 people.
Really?
Is what it was up to. It's growing rapidly.
Well, this whole area has really taken off over the last 15, 20 years. You know, for a long time, we lived in Navarre. And when I was growing up, and I'm getting up there in age, but when I was growing up, Navarre had like 5,000, 6,000 people that lived in it. And now it's in that 40, getting into that 50,000 range.
I know being a kid, like you wanted to go see a desolate beach, and my parents tried to show me how it was when they was kids down in Destin. You went to Navarre and drove the strip, and there was nothing. I went through there. We went through there about a year ago, coming back to Pensacola, because I was going to show my kids.
Yeah.
There's houses everywhere.
There's
a
houses
little
everywhere.
strip where it's just road and beach, but it's mainly houses.
Yeah, they've done a pretty good job of keeping the commercial, like there's only one hotel on the beach. So it's all, residential, not a lot of commercial out there, which is nice. So anyways, so Andalusia is definitely growing, which is really cool to see that area, because we were talking about side-by-sides earlier, and we all go ride pretty close to that. In between Bruton and Andalusia is a place called Bogs and Boulders that we love to go ride. And so you haven't been up there. We haven't been up there together, although there's no chance we haven't been up there at the same time before.
No chance.
So next time we go, we'll have to all go.
Have to all get together.
Yeah.
It's about 40 minutes there from us.
Yeah, we're about an hour and 15 from here, so not too bad. So tell us a little bit about Easy Peasy Plumbing. How did that even start? What gave you that itch to do it?
I was working for another company. I was managing construction, obviously, because everybody thought, oh, construction's where it's at. Big ticket items, construction. And managed that. Construction's a rat chase. Found another company that was a whole service company. So they did AC, plumbing, electrical, and built the homes. They were also a construction company.
Okay.
So I put in an application there, got an offer. It was significantly more than what I was making. I knew I was being underpaid for what I was managing and what I was doing. So anyway, I left from company A that I was at and went to company B. And whenever we went there, was making more, stayed there for about a year and a half, and that company slowly started to tank off due to the owner making some bad investments. and the owner not doing some right things.
Yeah.
And so anyway, we went from there, and I had 17 employees I was managing, doing 2 trades there, AC and plumbing, and I had all the clientele that was talking to me directly. Well, when all this word started getting out, the clientele wanted me and the employees wanted me. Matter of fact, they all showed up at my house one afternoon. They're like, hey, we got to do something. So it's like, looked at my wife and said, well, I guess we're starting a business. So got licensed. Anyway, started a business, started doing construction. We was booming, we was doing good, and then we realized that we weren't actually making for what we were doing.
Yeah, you started learning that busy is not profitable.
Busy is not always profitable.
Yeah.
Sometimes you make more in the slow times.
Yeah.
More efficient in the slow times.
Yeah.
So anyway, we was doing that, and we started slowly transitioning. We phased out the name of that company, and we switched to service, and we started doing Easy Peasy Plumbing. We fully branded. I come home one day, and my wife's a little bit more of the gung-ho. I'm more of the reserved. I got to look at all the numbers. Everything has to line up, make sense. I come home one day, and she said, hey, I just paid Kick Charge Creative. We're getting a whole brand. I said, you did what? Yeah, no problem. We paid for it. So I saw the bill, had a mild stroke, but by far that was the best move she's ever made for us.
Yeah.
That, and she came up with the name herself. We had a list of names, and at the last minute, the name was almost decided on. I think it was called Miracle Flow or something was going to be the name of it. I can't remember exactly. And Easy Peasy popped in our head, and at the last minute, we changed to Easy Peasy Plumbing.
I think that's cool. So what's interesting is we all met at Jared's event here in Pensacola this year.
Wahoo!
Now the Wahoo, but the hoorah he had,
Yeah.
and I was standing there talking to you and your wife, and it was interesting because you guys are almost reversed in roles as far as who's typically the more aggressive person. Yeah, usually it's the guy who's like gung-ho, let's go, let's not worry about the details. And that's your wife. She's like, let's just go and figure it out. And you're like, wait a minute, we got to make a calculated decision. I think that's really cool that you guys...
And I think a little bit, because before I was managing construction and owned my own construction, because when we owned a construction company and was doing construction plumbing, my wife wasn't really in it.
Yeah.
She had a separate career she was chasing. And then when we started switching service, she's like, all right, I'm going to get in. Like, this is it. We're going to do this together. And at that point, I was not only being the visionary and the integrator, I had to pay the payroll, make sure the numbers worked, and make sure there's going to be enough in there to cover the account. Because this contractor wasn't going to pay for 90 days. I wasn't going to see this check for another 30. I had one really, really good contractor that would pay me every week. And to be honest, that's what kept us afloat a lot of weeks.
Yeah.
Is because, you know, for them to be able to buy more materials to keep going, I would have to keep paying these bills no matter if I got paid or not.
Yep.
So all I was doing was bankrolling.
Yeah.
Bankroll this, bankroll that. You had there was very little profit.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, you get into it, and then you got all this overhead, labor and materials. You'd have 2 to 4 guys on a job. They'd be there for 2 weeks. I'm paying thousands upon thousands of dollars in payroll per...
Waiting on it to come back in.
Waiting on it. And then your bank account drop way down, and you'd be borderline heart attack. And then it'd come back up. And then you'd be like, all right, we're good. And then, but in the meantime, you just had to pay everything off. The guys still had to get paid. And for them to keep working, I had to keep material bills paid. And it's just a rat chase.
So it's awesome that you made that shift from that new construction over to service. Now, most companies that I talk to, when they make that shift, it's very difficult for them to keep any employees from the residential. Was that the same experience you guys had?
Yes. So we had 17 when I started making the shift. When I announced the shift, I had 2.
Yeah.
2 that stayed. We finished out. I had a few contracts left that was already mid. We had to finish out. I wouldn't take on anything else. Them 2 stayed and helped me finish. Mm-hmm. They're dang good guys. I would do anything for them to this day. One of them started having some health problems and he found a job that had really good benefits for him to get his health care. At that time, we couldn't do benefits because it wasn't in it for a construction company. Construction don't get benefits. And the other guy stayed with me all the way through service, switched with service, started doing service, was running service calls out of his truck, never ran service before. We was learning all this at the same time, basically, how to do service. And he just left about a month or two ago, and he'd been with us whole time. And so far, we've been in service for a little over a year, full branded service.
Okay.
And we went from 2 to basically 0. And we have 3 service trucks on the road, and a septic truck on the road installing septic tanks at this time too.
Okay. Yeah, it's interesting because, a lot of people, when they think about, plumbing as a trade, and this applies to even the HVAC side and the electrical side too, they're like, well, plumbing's plumbing, what difference does it make? Well, it's a complete different thing when you're doing new construction. And I think about this, and obviously you being from this area, you see this too. You'll go through neighborhoods where they're doing new construction, and these guys are in their work boots, these cut-off shorts, no shirt, cigarette hanging out of their mouth, and they're probably phenomenal plumbers.
Most of the ones that are...
But not customer-facing plumbers.
No, I had some like that. And matter of fact, one of the best plumbers I ever had, and even the other companies around would try to get him from me when we was doing construction. Hair down to his back, rock band type beard all the way down here. Some days he'd show up in cut off blue jeans. You just never knew.
Rocking the jorts.
If he even had a shirt on that day, we was lucky.
Yeah.
But phenomenal plumber.
Yeah.
Very hard worker. Very humble, very polite. But it's a whole different caliber of people you deal with in service versus construction.
I mean, it is such a different skill set, right? So there's plumbing of the new construction, and same with commercial too, right? There's a lot of plumbing guys that do commercial work that are fantastic plumbers. They're great at what they do, but in a commercial setting, you're typically not customer facing. And really, the residential service side, that's the trick to it, is you've got to be good at a lot of different facets. The most important one being communicating with the customer and able to, present different options to solve their problems.
And that's one thing we value on, is sticking to traditionally sticking to residential service plumbing. There's people's like, oh, it's just plumbing. You're a plumber. Just go do it all.
Right. It's
a whole different plumber doing industrial versus commercial versus service. Residential service versus construction. It's not even the same people. It's not. It's not even the same trade hardly.
Yeah.
And people don't understand that.
We went through that phase where, as we were growing, bringing people in from new construction, because obviously being in this area, there's a lot of new construction, even that's going on now in our area. So a lot of times it's easy to get those guys in, but it is very, very difficult to get them to transition. Again, it's just a different skill set. So
yeah, it's a different skill set, different mindset.
It is definitely a different mindset.
It's a mindset thing that you can teach skills. You can't teach character. It's nearly impossible to teach character.
So what does the future hold for Easy Peasy?
So the future holds very soon, within the next few months, 2 locations.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Very exciting. Second location. It holds lots of more growth over the next year. It holds lots more opportunities for the guys we currently have employed with us to be advanced into higher positions.
Yeah.
Like many of them won't. Nobody wants to have a dead-end job.
Right.
And there's a lot coming down the drain for Easy Peasy too. There's a few things we can't exactly announce just yet that's coming down.
Yeah. But I do like that coming down the drain thing. I like that. That was a good tie-in.
Good tie-in for a plumber. There's a few things that's going to be special whenever we announce them. They'll be
very cool.
Really cool.
Awesome.
And there's just a couple of tricks in the hat you like to keep.
Well, I don't want to expose any of the secrets, but I know you guys. I know some of the guys in your team. You guys have a great team. Your brand is really cool looking. I think the markets that you guys serve is unique. I think there's a lot of people, if you go south of those counties, it's bombarded with companies. And you guys are in a good spot.
That's one reason we kind of stayed where we were.
Yeah.
We still have a high presence of other plumbers. There's a lot of other plumbers in the area, but the market is not flooded, quote unquote, like other areas of our region.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
There's plenty of options for people to choose from, and we believe there's a customer for us and there's a customer for them. And we pride ourselves on being the highest service company. We pride ourselves on providing the best service to our customer at all costs. We want them to have the best experience and the best service with us.
So I want to highlight something that you just said that I think a lot of people have a hard time grasping, and it's that everybody's not your customer, and that's 100% accurate. And you said this even earlier than that. You talked about, well, if you're plumbing, why don't you do this, and why don't you do that in the new construction? And it's because you guys are serving a very specific client, and you know what your avatar is for a customer, and that is going to help you guys succeed and grow. And that is awesome. And I'm very glad that we got to meet. And so, yeah, thanks for coming and hanging out. Let's go play out on the farm, man.
Yeah. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you, man.
Appreciate you having us.
Appreciate you guys coming and hanging out.